This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game, but you know something's fun. When we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
They go play action here on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards.
By 20! 180!
They'll run it now, out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And Wilson has it. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
And they'll run it here. And past the 30, down to about the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Well, that hollow metal sound is the bane of any kicker's existence, and here, that sound is going to keep our game scoreless.
And you can see him give that body English as the ball was in the air. Come on, baby, come on. But no dice that time.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out.
And he's going to be taken down. Penalty marker on the field, however. Which side is this on?
Holding offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Welch. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this will remain a scoreless game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Taking a shot for Samuel. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And out now come the Seahawks. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with. with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved. And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Let's get it.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 42 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Penny, the 1st down carry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 19 carries, 67 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
From the shotgun, Wilson. It fights him off. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jerron Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a 1st quarter lead.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, nice move. And some space here.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give the defense a little bit of a break.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers. Now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. Second and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. Now this time, Garoppolo will throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here we go.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going to float this one deep right side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Now they set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Wilson rolling to his right. Dances by him. Still. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Penny. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. Ooh, the juke. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Carson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder at halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Leaves it for Penny. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Here's Wilson. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. It's second and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. From the gun, Wilson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
Now we got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. To throw is Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
Holding offense.
So they decline it, as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And this is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
11.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It got his man complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On 1st down, Garoppolo. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Garoppolo now steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up in the Twin Cities. Arizona in town to take on Minnesota. And it's the Cardinals who are out in front as that game draws closer to halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Sam Bradford. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. Paul Richardson, a touchdown reception. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Garoppolo now, 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Being chased out left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll kick it away for the second time. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. They begin with a run by Penny. And an alley to run. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On second down, here's Penny. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On third down, Wilson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. They go back to the ground now with Penny. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, Excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run again with Carson. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action with Wilson. Flushed out right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cliff Averill in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a 1st down.
Help me out, partner. Did they use up all their juice on 2nd down when they got the sack? Because on 3rd down, 0 pressure, all the time in the world, and he picks up the 1st down with that throw.
The handoff to Penny. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. Forced out to his left. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
You're not you when you're losing. Snickers satisfies.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the fourth and final quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And on the ground they go with a running back. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end, holding. Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for Carolina. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
Holding
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
So that one will be accepted. Here's a give to Penny. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Shamar Stephen in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And on that one, the production just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Pumphrey. Shifts by him. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run again with Pumphrey. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1. You think, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball, but when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time, that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a 1st down.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Again, it's Pumphrey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
And they'll get him down up past the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Seahawks, they do finish things out with a victory here in the final week, but the victories were few and far between as they'll end the year 5-11. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.